day.
When we go to
I'll take you.
town meeting.
All right, we'll
You won't
get
need that.
started.
I don't have.
What?
I only have half my vehicle out there.
Go over here, or because I'm going to slide over.
I got my tires.
From January
Give you a room.
until March 1st.
Wait a minute.
Good for you. I'll be back in just a second.
Looks like a Tom.
It is.
The school district.
Maybe.
But they're
He's
pricey.
not sure, right?
Yes.
Are they pricey?
Because there's.
And it's only Tuesday.
8, I'd say.
That window of opportunity.
Total package, 3.
100?
Invoices.
Yeah.
Through
1,000?
nominal March.
Oh, ribs.
Nominal.
Both.
January
Right,
15th.
okay.
Yeah, no, that makes, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about your latest upgrade? I'm surprised you can get in and out of it.
I have long legs.
I didn't say you didn't. I just know it's a long way up there. I got long legs too, but I don't think I can get in and out of it anymore.
Is that the one that's all mud covered out there?
No, mine's
No,
clean
that's-
right now.
That's because it's all mud covered.
All right, Tom will be back in and we will get started.
What?
It may be the culprit of why.
While Tom is out, because I know I've got someone online, I'm going to read the checklist information here for everyone and then we'll get started. So this is for the remote budget committee meeting, June 23rd, 2020. The agenda is going to be an electronic meeting for the public. So here's the checklist. During the state of emergency, notice is hereby given in accordance with New Hampshire RSA 676.5 and 676.7 and the Governor's Emergency Order Number 23 that Milton Budget Committee will hold a regular meeting remotely on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020 at 6 p.m. As chair of the Milton Budget Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the Governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the Governor's Emergency Order Number 12, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Citizens will not have physical access to the town hall because it is currently closed to the public. If citizens have input for the Budget Committee, please submit those questions to Humphrey Williams, Budget Committee Chairman at hwilliams.miltonbc@gmail.com prior to the meeting. Emails will be read into the record during the public comment portion of the meeting. Citizens may also call into the meeting via the conference call option below. If there is a major problem seeing or hearing the meeting, please call Humphrey Williams, Budget Committee Chairperson at 603-275-4572 or Thomas Macdougall, Budget Committee Vice Chairperson at 619-929-7060. So we're utilizing the following for this electronic meeting. Conference call for people who do not have means to join via computer. All members of the Budget Committee have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting by dialing the toll-free number 844-857-5555, and upon the prompt, enter access code 628-687-6 and push the pound sign. For online access, clicking on the following website, and that's listed down here. I'm not going to read that one all off. The online meeting ID is Milton TA2. Town YouTube live stream, we are having problems with. We are currently recording it, so if anyone's listening to this aspect of it, we will record it and post it later. So I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we would please rise, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, and we'll have a roll call, starting with the back left corner, Mr. Rawson.
Well,
I know you're here, but I'm saying, that's right, you're not here representing the board at this time. But starting with Peg then.
Peg Heard.
Larry Brown.
Danielle Marie.
Thomas McDougall.
Lisa Gautreaux.
Mike Blue.
And Humphrey Williams, so we have a quorum. All right, and public participation, as I said, on the screen right now, we've got a phone number that's dialed in, but I don't know, they're not responding, so. What we're gonna work on next is our bylaws. Has everyone had an opportunity to see them and go through them? And if you need a hard copy, I do have a hard copy here.
I would love to have a hard copy.
All right.
Because I have an old one.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got one? You want a hard copy for now? Yep. Lisa, you got one? All set. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just one question here on our, they're not muted on the screen here, are they? If you double click that
I'm
little
going to mute
microphone sign.
this, yeah. I'm not muted, so they can hear us.
Yeah, but
But
if
they're not
they're
muted.
trying to respond in that.
This
so-
is, no,
that-
this is only for me.
Okay, that's
yeah.
us, that's not them?
No, that's,
And it turns red if it's on, okay.
right.
All right.
So, and like I said, I've
Okay,
got it
all
on
right,
the phone too,
Yeah,
so.
I just wanted to make sure that they,
Nope.
we hadn't.
Now,
muted
the
them back
music
yet.
stopped because we do have someone there, so.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen too, so that we can, and what I wanted to pass on while I'm here, if you guys wanna see what's on the screen. We did not have this thing on our on the website in the past, so I wanted to make sure the documents that we deal with on a regular basis are now on the website under Budget Committee. And we'll start with the, I'm gonna start with the fact that we have the bylaws up there, but if you would look over here for a moment, I will show you what we currently have, because Brittany has set up links that I asked her to. So we have the bylaws. We also have the New Hampshire Department of Revenue Technical Assistance. That's where we get the information on which documents and all that we have to work on. That's for the towns, the school, as well as the Budget Committee. I also have RSA 32, which is our budgetary requirements for New Hampshire. And I've also got, now, we don't have the latest one, but remember last year, we scrambled a little bit. So this is the current dates. Although these dates are January 2020 dates, the information on the right-hand side is the when we have to have certain things done. Shows us, like, the last day to post notice of our budget hearing is the second Tuesday in January, so the information's there. I know Danielle said that she spoke to New Hampshire Municipal Association, and they're gonna get us the updated information as soon as it's available. So this is all available now online, so we can refer back to it, so we don't have to scramble and with the Google thingy either, Peg. Okay?
Thank God. With this online, I'm assuming that our minutes will be posted on there.
And they are posted. They are under the budget. They're under the boards and committees under all minutes and agendas.
Okay.
When you come in here, budget committee minutes are here.
Okay. What do we do with corrections out of total
Oh,
curiosity?
okay, the drafts are gonna be here, and I'll show you what we've got now. Corrections, we're still gonna deal with through Word, like we do with Sherry.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
good, thank you.
So and I know Sherry's doing this remotely, she's gonna catch up with this information. What we have to do is make sure that we post within 5 days
Right.
of the meeting, and that's our draft minutes. I'm not worried about whether they're perfect. We will make our adjustments, and then when we make the adjustments and we approve of the minutes, they'll get shifted from the draft to the final ones. So all the other ones we've had have been caught up. We remember there was the comment we didn't have them from
Yeah,
November of
January.
last year.
Yeah.
So they've all been caught up with one exception. We're waiting for the one from the 25th of February, which we're going to be touching on. So yes, our minutes are here, and our agendas are also here. So this is where they're all going to be posted. So when you go in, you'll see it. Not only that, but the link comes up when they post it in the notification section on the website too.
Okay.
So those are all right there.
So I was just looking at all of the minutes that were up there, and they're all draft.
Nope, just the one. That's the top one was draft.
They did say draft.
They said draft.
They all did?
Yes, they did.
I think
Hang
there's
on a
only
minute.
one
Let me
that
go
did.
back and make sure. If they did, then that needs to be fixed because they weren't all draft. When we sent them, they weren't all draft. Tom and I got caught up on those. Hang on. So I may be mistaken. Oh, they are. Okay, we'll have to get that switched so it doesn't say draft. Those were the approved ones, and that's just how she posted them online. I'll just have her take the word draft off of these ones. We have not approved of the May 26th, that is still draft. These other ones were the ones that we had approved. The only ones we still hadn't approved yet was the 25.
All right, because I know last meeting we had something from February.
That's our last meeting. The February 25th we haven't approved yet. We haven't even gone through them yet.
So they aren't even up there.
They're
as
not even
draft.
here, no, they're not, that's right. We're missing them. We're trying to locate them.
Okay, all right. I'm just,
No, I appreciate
know
your
me.
spot. Yeah, no, that's why I appreciate you. I didn't realize they still said draft, because when I sent them to Brittany, they were the final,
Yeah, they
so.
should have been final.
I can just have her change that tomorrow. So,
All right.
thank you for pointing that out. Where'd my pen go? There it is.
Wanna do one more?
Nope, got it. Just gonna write the note down.
because I know I did send Sherry corrections to the 26th one.
Yeah, you had mentioned that one, so
Okay.
I appreciate it. And again, I want to make sure that we don't fall behind on these. So Sherry and I have talked, and like I said, we'll get the draft out. We're going to put them out. I'm not going to try to put them all out there on Google. I'm going to, when Sherry sends them, we're going to send them out through Word. We'll go from there. It's a lot easier to deal with. I don't have a problem with Google, but some people do, and not everyone has access to it directly unless you got Gmail set up and everything else. So
One of the questions that I know I asked you and then I asked Sherry to look back, the bylaws, what I wanted to see were the actual changes when we made all the changes at each meeting
mhm.
that I could not find because,
They were hard copies at the time. They weren't done electronically, I know. If you remember,
All right.
I was keeping track of them during the meeting and I gave them back to Tom. He filled them all out at the end and then we put them in there. But that was
Okay.
how we were doing at the time. That's why I wanted to try to change that, so we do this here,
okay,
okay? And we can do it together.
all right, because
Because
I really
don't
would
want
like
it, I don't want to go back through going, you know, what
yeah,
have we
no, I would
got?
like to have
Yep. Oh, no,
the
absolutely.
changes where in Word you can actually document
Yep,
the
and keep
changes
track of it.
and
And we
the
tried
date
to do that, but like I said, Google doesn't make
Well,
it
it
easy.
didn't like me
No,
enough.
no, I
Yeah.
know
There
that.
you go.
So no, I completely agree with you
Okay.
on that.
So, Mr. Chair, are you
Yes.
electronically going to send the changes to all the budget committee members? I mean, I.
Yes,
All right, thank you.
yes. Yeah, and that's why I said tonight we're gonna work here and then I will send them out,
All right.
okay? Because
Mike, I do the grammatical changes then.
she always does. And because I do have the Word document here, I'm gonna bring that up rather than just work with the PDF file that they've got online. Online, we can't change them. Yes,
And
Mr. Brown?
Chairman, that, on that point, most of the stuff that the Budget Committee does is not that dependent on a revision date for any data.
Mhm.
Like on the zoning and planning board, if somebody makes an application under an old zoning law, it carries through.
Mhm.
So, it should not.
Well, my big question on this, Larry, though, was following the changes
Yeah.
in the bylaws, because I'm going to make a motion tonight to change something in the current one. Because I could not find anywhere where that particular thing was changed, so,
Yes.
The, we could, if you wished, of our own authority, put a parenthesis and say revised such and such
Yeah.
a date, and that would get around the word.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this up on the screen because to keep a note on that, and I'll just show you, because I'm gonna bring up the bylaws. And because if you see here, when I put it down, I put Rev 6/2019. That was revision, 6 of June of 2019 when we had it. So this was the one that we had online. So amended and accepted on June 25th, 2019. But as we make editorial changes, we can put in
right.
the marks.
Last
Yes.
point, we will certainly find enough to grumble about as the year goes along, but meanwhile.
Even in a short year.
Have to wait for the compliment. Thank you for the work of getting these little electrons to dance properly across the page. It is a wonderful improvement, and thank you.
Thank you. And you're welcome. Like I said, hopefully the idea is not for it not to be killing trees every time we do something. We do this the best way we can, but whatever hard copies we need, we can obtain as well. So, with that in
Well,
mind,
Mr.
yes,
Chair,
go ahead, Mike.
I like hard copies where it's either I do them at my home or we do them here.
Mhm.
I feel it's the responsibility of the town to provide those hard copies to this.
No, and that's why I said, we can make the copies out here. I'm not expecting anyone to have to print the stuff out.
Right.
But if you can look at, I'm gonna be sending them out electronically. Everyone has access to them electronically. You can review them. Any hard copies we need, I have access to the copy here to make that. Okay? Fully agree. All right, we ready to go into the bylaws?
Mhm.
Everyone's all set? Okay. All right, so I'm going to, let's start with the opening. So we've got content. Any, other than we're going to be changing the dates, what I'm also going to do in here is I'm going to put it in review mode so we can track what we're, any changes as we do this. That way we will have it, okay? Anything we got to note. So, starting with the first part. Yes, Peg?
No,
that's fine.
you're done with the first part, okay.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, we're gonna start, and I know that this is going to be open, so we'll be changing that, but content, does anybody get any, I don't think we've got anything we need to change under content, right? I mean, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, I don't think so, yes.
Under purpose? Yes, Peg?
Okay, I would like to make a motion that right now it states RSA 32.
Mm-hmm.
However, the old one really said, oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. It's the organization. I'm fine with the purpose. Never mind. I knew I had a change that I wanted to make. It's just where.
Okay, so we're all set with purpose? Everyone's all set?
Yeah.
All right. Organization.
Okay.
Peg, you have a comment?
Okay. In the old one, the original one, it actually spelled out that the committee shall comprise of such number of members and other representation. Board shall consist of 6 at-large members and 1 representative from the Board of Selectmen, School Board, and Water District. All members have the right to vote on committee business.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at just the RSA 32, which kind of governs everything.
Yeah, it's 3 to
It's
12.
what, 3 to 12?
You can have 3 to 12.
I am very specific oriented, and I would prefer to actually see written out. I mean, the budget committee has had this many members for as long as certainly I've been on the committee, and I would like to go back to actually outlining the number of members on the board.
Okay, so you're making a motion?
I just made a motion, yes, please.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second for discussion.
Okay, second for discussion. Any other comments before we go into discussion on that? All right, so
Okay.
I'll open it up. Tom, you got something?
I like keeping it more generic because that is less things that you have to keep track of. Something you don't want to do is have the same information in multiple documents, because when the information changes, now you've got to touch multiple documents. The way it's written now, whatever the town has decided at town meeting, if it's decided to drop us down to 3 members, for example, we don't have to remember to change this in the next regularly scheduled meeting. If we specifically call out, you will have this, you will have this, you will have this, then in that case where the number of members is not under the budget committee's control, it's under the town's control, we would then have to remember, whoever it is that's here, to go back and change this. And I can see that getting, it's one more place that you have to remember to keep track of things. And generally speaking, in the technical world, you don't want to do that. You want your information kept in one spot and one spot only. You want to have it spread across multiple documents, because you have to update. Make sure you update everything, and confusion ensues when you don't.
Hold on one
Having been there,
second, Peg.
done
Larry
that.
had a
However, we just figured out that one of the reasons that this is now electronic is that it can be changed electronically at the push of a button. I would like to think that the budget committee is clever enough to understand that when we look around the room at the next reorganization meeting, if the town changes things, we can do a head count and find out we have a different number and change the bylaws.
Okay, Peg?
I guess my question, going back to what you said, Tom, about the membership is predicated by the town. Can you expound on that, please? I mean, you said something about the town meeting. I mean, I don't remember ever
That's in-
voting on numbers of people.
I can agree. That's actually in the RSA. I'm gonna bring that up too, so we have both of them. So, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, it's at town meeting when they decided to form the official budget committee, is when they decided this is the number of members that we're gonna have and the makeup of the membership. So that's where it's decided at town meeting. The budget committee has no authority to change that. We can't say we only want 6 members or 3 members now. We can't do that. That is
Yep.
the town has to do that.
Okay,
the
so
town
does somebody
body.
put that out as a warrant article at the?
Yeah, if
If it's the change from where we're at
Yeah, if
today.
No, I know, but I
Before we
mean, if I wanted 3 members on the budget committee, I could write up a warrant article,
Mhm.
or if you wanted to expand it to 12.
or 32.
No.
We, right now, just to touch on it, because I know I've got it up here, and it does talk about the adoption for the meeting. I gotta move this up a little bit so we can see it. It's not working too good, is it?
Yeah, you know what, if you move those.
I'm gonna try to
Maybe I'll come.
narrow it down a little bit. I can't fix it yet. Yeah. Still doesn't want to.
It's just
The thing does not like the edge of the screen.
Hmm?
Wow. Okay. Anyways, and I apologize for the fact that I can't get this to narrow down on the screen, but it basically says, by any town with a town meeting form of government I'm sorry, that's the adoption. The 3 to 12 members at large who may be either elected or appointed by the moderator as the town or district adopting provisions of this subdivision shall be by vote determined, who shall serve staggered terms of 3 years. And then it goes, 1 member of the governing body of the municipality, let's see, I'm trying to remember where it is, but I do know that it does talk about the membership, that it has to be done at the town meeting is where it was. Okay, right here, it's in section 4. A town or district which has adopted this subdivision may vote at any subsequent annual meeting to change the number or manner of selections of its members at large. So it's done at the town meeting. And right now, our makeup of 6 with the 3 representatives was done by the town, so we can't change that unless it goes to a warrant article and we change that at the annual town meeting. Larry?
I'm sure that the budget committee will be happy to remember that the execution of Charles I was done by a committee of 8.
There you go.
We're awful close.
Yes, we are. We are awfully close. Thank God he's not here, so we're all set. But, so anyways, so we have the motion. Any more discussion? All right, there's no more discussion. We'll call for a vote.
I
Starting.
think it has to be a roll call vote.
Is this an
I'm
amendment?
gonna call roll, yeah.
Is this an amendment?
This is whether or not we're gonna amend it according to what,
Oh, but it won't be voted on tonight.
I'm gonna vote on any of the changes I wanna do here, I wanna carry through, so we're,
All right, so on adoption and amendments, it says, on D, an amendment to these bylaws may be moved at one budget committee meeting, but shall not be voted upon until the next regular scheduled meeting.
yeah, okay, I didn't even realize that.
Not unless there are 7 days, not less
okay.
than 7 days later, a copy of.
Okay,
So basically, we would approve, okay, we're gonna change it like this, we vote on the final, yes,
Yeah.
this is the final bylaws at the next meeting.
but for right now,
If we
we're trying to
change
get
it,
this.
if it's voted to change.
Yeah,
If it's not, if we vote and we end up not changing anything,
we don't have to
So will
wait.
there be a
String a little
secondary
bit.
vote for the next regular scheduled meeting?
if we change
Yes,
it.
if we change
anything, the final vote on approving the bylaws would be the next meeting. I'm sorry, I don't mean to over.
Yeah.
talk.
I just want to see if we've got the motion to make the change.
With me. Okay.
And if we're not gonna change it, then I just wanna address that at this point,
Yep.
as we go through. We can do this, we can do this a number of different ways, that's just one of them, but. So, we'll carry, yeah, and it is gonna have to be a roll call vote, because we need the names as we're
Yep.
doing this remotely. All right, so starting from my left, do we wanna make a change? Just whoever I'm pointing at, just gonna mention the name at the time,
Danielle Marique? No.
Yep. okay?
Thomas Douglas, no.
Yes, Larry Brown.
Peg Heard, yes.
No, Mike Blue.
Lisa Gattro, no.
And Humphrey Williams, chair, votes no. Okay, so right now, we're not making that change. to the organization. So
That
I'm gonna bring
was-
that back up. That was on membership, organization. Under number 2, organization, subparagraph A, membership.
Mhm.
Oh, geez, the right one. Word. So, all right. So the next one's under officers. Are there any comments under officers?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I
Mr.
would
McDougal.
make a motion that we remove the, but not later than April 30th in light of our latest, what's happened here, given that our first regularly scheduled meeting was a month after that. I would just have it say that the first regularly scheduled meeting after the town vote.
So that would
It
be.
does say
meeting.
first regularly scheduled meetings.
Yeah, just first.
Yeah. All
following
right.
the
So you're
annual
making the motion to change,
to strike. but
strike
not
out, but not later than.
April 30th. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
we don't
second
need-
that.
Okay, second. Any other comments? We'll open for discussion. Larry?
Picking up on Tom's point about keeping it simple, meetings can also be at the call of the chair.
This is
and
true.
it were to the interest of the budget committee to have that first meeting different than a scheduled meeting, striking more words would make it even simpler.
Okay.
As you wish.
No. Any other discussion, any other comments on this? It's open for discussion.
So if I might get clarification on what Larry, so what you're saying, Larry, is you would strike the regularly scheduled meeting and at the first meeting following annual town meeting.
For a scheduled meeting, that's all it's gonna be,
Mhm.
yep,
No,
so,
first,
so he's
Regularly
making, he's
scheduled.
looking to make the additional adjustment. okay.
he's saying strike regularly scheduled at the first meeting following the annual town meeting,
Okay,
which is,
yep, that's
Aye.
good.
Can I second that one too?
Yeah, we could try to be a little less formal on this piece of it, I think.
Well,
Any other
official, you
discussion?
said
Yeah,
both.
I know. Well, we'll call for the vote. Any other discussion or comments on that? All right, so we actually have a motion and then an additional adjustment. So right now we have a motion to strike the but not later than April 30th and the first regularly scheduled, and the regularly scheduled from that, so it'll be the first meeting. So it would read, a chair and vice chair shall be elected at the first meeting following the annual town meeting. So that's basically how that was adjusted, so we're ready for a vote.
Daniel Marie, yes.
Thomas McDougal, yes.
Yes, Larry Brown.
Yes, Peg Hurd.
Yes, Lisa Gattro.
Yes.
Mike Bullo, yes, and Humphrey Williams, yes. So I'm gonna make that change on the screen now. Unanimous vote, you're gonna like it. All right, cut. Oops,
Don't worry, by the
wanna
season's
track.
over.
Season's over?
By the time the season's over, don't worry.
Yeah. I want to track the changes, track them. So let's delete, keep track, and we will put a period in here and delete so that this will go back out. Yeah, I vote on the whole thing, Mike. Coming back to this will be after we make these changes, we'll have the final vote.
Thank you.
That's a good catch.
What, the period part?
No, that is about.
Yeah.
Yes,
having
no,
to
that
break
was
up the
very
group.
good.
That's-
Very good, that's true. All right. The next one's in the case of a vacancy of the chair. Is there any additional comments on that under organization? Or are we all set with that one? Not seeing any? All right, section 3, duties of offices, under chair, any comments? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to page 2. So the chair shall schedule all meetings is the first thought. Any comments on that one? Number 3, paragraph 3. Any comments on paragraph 3? Okay, seeing none. Subparagraph B, vice chair. Any comments on that one under paragraph 1? All right, seeing none. Section 3 is done. Under vacancies. Any comments under paragraph A about the member at large vacancy? We know we used that this year. Last year.
Yep.
Seeing none?
I-
Peg, got one?
Just, no, not even, I'm just a question.
Okay.
The end of it says successors shall be elected to fill the remaining unexpired term or start a new term. So just clarification. So if somebody leaves and they have 2 years left, then that person who is voted on at the meeting would do the 2 years. If it was the end of a 3-year term or whatever, that person would do a 3-year term? So
Actually-
that they're all staggered?
No, when the
It's that 1
appointed
year.
position ends at the
Next
next town vote.
Yes.
Right.
So then, so let's say, I'm not sure who's on the 3-year term, but if they were to say, I'm done, and we appointed somebody else, that new appointment that we made here with ourselves would last until March.
And
Then the
it'll be
election would happen,
the new
and
3-year term.
for the remainder of that 3-year term,
Okay,
which would
all
then
right.
be 2 years.
Yeah.
All right, that's all
Yeah,
my
okay.
question. I just want a clarification.
No, and we,
So
and
we're
I went.
staggered.
I thought the same thing too
Yeah.
until I went back, because if you read the RSA states until the next election.
Yeah.
But Tom's right. The next election, you'd put 2 years left on the seat. You don't
Yeah.
change the order
Right.
for that. So.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, I knew about the,
Our next
Appointment.
vote, we're gonna have to go through each of the appointments to figure out where those all fall,
Yeah,
as far
it-
as 1, 2, and 3-year terms this next time around, so.
And every time it comes up, I get confused and have to go
Yeah.
back and scratch my head. It's-
No, it can be, there's no doubt, so that is what it is. So any other discussion on that one?
thank you, I just wanted,
Nope, that's good. Everyone's all set, and then procedure to fill the vacancy?
So, I don't know if
Okay,
it needs
Daniel.
to be in addition to
What's that?
that particular one, or just a sub-paragraph completely, but I think that a time requirement on filling the vacant position needs to be looked at.
In the event,
In the event we have it, yeah.
Yep. Because you could
Yeah, we don't have
all take
anything down here.
applications and then not fill it for 8 months.
I know that
Kinda
with the BOS, those types of things, it's 45 days when someone leaves. So
I did
What?
some research.
if you have a vacant seat, it's to fill with, they try to fill it within 45 days is in the bylaws for the selectmen. We didn't have anything in here. I know we try to fill them as soon as possible, but that's not a bad idea. We don't have anything in here saying the when.
but what happens if we don't have anybody to fill the vacancy or apply, I mean, and it's like 50 days now, then do
No,
we just say, forget it?
Yeah, I don't know if we need to have it in there, but I'm saying we don't. I know what
Yeah.
the intent is and what we're trying to do, but last time around, we ended up, it took a bit. It's true to find somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
This time, we didn't have that issue, but
it's not easy to find members on committees.
No.
and-
on any of
keep
them, I know.
And keep them.
And keep them. All right, anyways, I know there was a comment. I don't know if we need to put anything in there, but it's something we can certainly be, if we run into an issue, we can go back and look at. But
So, Dana, you said something about you did a little looking into something there
yeah,
relative to that.
I looked into 4 different towns, and their bylaws are comparable to ours. Theirs have mentioned having a timeline.
Oh, okay.
It was more so of a 30-day, but then I was thinking 30 days, that's one meeting. You get interests after one meeting. You need time to review them and
right.
Yeah.
figure out the process from there.
Generally, we
So-
find out between meetings as it is. If someone's
Right.
leaving, or you may find out at that first meeting. It's awfully tough to have it all lined
Right,
up
if
before
you
your
do the
next
30
meeting.
to 60, that at least gives you
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think that it might be, Larry Brown, might be trying to make sure that some chair does not pass the baton of the open seat to their brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that is, in a different time and a different place, I knew a board where a particularly difficult person resigned. And the remaining board members were so on edge for trying to get their work done, they left the position unfilled until the next election.
Mm.
So it's multiple.
Well, and I think if we look at the vacancy piece of it, the chairperson's gonna decide the when part, but it's still the majority vote of the committee that's gonna decide who's taking it, so it won't be that's my favorite friend over there, so. All right, any other discussion on this section? Are we all set to move forward, Lisa?
It's not in the RSA that's listed there,
The RSA talks about how to fill vacancies, and it
But-
does address what we have
but
here.
it doesn't say the time frame.
Not specifically, no. It
I
doesn't.
don't
That's
know.
why,
It's already
if we
built
were
in.
doing it, we'd be adding our own time frame like they've done in other areas, so. Any other comments? All set? All right, so we're all set with section 4, then let's look at section 5, responsibilities and duties of the committee. The first one being subparagraph A, about the budget committee carefully reviewing all requests for budgets. Any comments on that section? Mr. Brown?
The, down with 1, 2, the second hollow bullet, note.
Okay, you're under paragraph B. I was only asking for A for a moment.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying, what I'm trying to do is make sure we don't go too far and then have to backtrack, so.
I read too fast.
If,
sorry.
no, trust me, I'm reading fast too, but I'm waiting to make sure everyone else isn't still looking at A. So we all set with paragraph A, Tom? Mr. Macdougall, I should say?
Something that I would, this is, I'm surprised Peg didn't pick up on this. This is a nit. Could we underline, should we underline, because we some places have underlined RSA and other places have not. I don't know if it's proper not to if you don't spell out the specific paragraph and subparagraph.
You can have it, is it hyperlinked though?
Is
that
These,
the cause
this,
of
these
the-
ones, these are links, is
Okay.
why they're
Oh, yeah.
underlined.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they are links. So
Okay.
this one's not, because it's just the
Okay,
general,
all right,
so.
okay, all right, okay, no, never mind.
Yeah, because these are specific.
Yeah,
The
and
others
those
are
ones, and the reason
RSA.
this, I mean, even, this is in my Word document, and it's still links, but even online, and so any of the ones we've got online.
No,
they're
that, I just noticed we
Yep.
had some underlined, some not.
Yep.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what, though, Tom, on that, under the purpose, that underline probably should be taken out then.
Um,
Last
Is it
line,
there?
Where is-
because
Where
it's
is-
just RSA.
Which one are you
First
talking?
paragraph. First
Purpose
Under
A,
Under purpose.
Under
under
A.
purpose, back to purpose.
First page.
Oh, I'm
First
sorry.
page, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
First page.
that is the link.
Okay, it's hyperlink.
That one is
That-
a link?
Yeah, that brings you right to the RSA. All the ones with the underline that I know of, because
Okay.
the second one doesn't. So within this body, there's certain links that go to
Okay.
the specific piece.
All
Yeah.
right,
So the underline is the link, and
And anything else does not have a link, it's just referring to the instruction.
RSA,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's already been linked in the document.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, all right.
that's what that was.
Okay.
That's okay. Good. Hey, you know what? This is good because I want to make sure everyone understands this anyways. I don't want to rush through, but. All right. I will say one thing though. I'm trying, if we don't get through, we're going to go what we can on this, but I know tonight's meeting was trying to keep this because of the time on the broadcast is only an hour and a half, so I want to try to get what we can get done by 7:30 here. I know we get started late. So anyways, back to where we were. So we all set with paragraph A. And paragraph B, Mr. Brown, you had a comment.
Note, the second hollow bullet, note, 5 members need to be physically, in physical attendance at the meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can take out the word physical these days, can't we?
Yeah.
I take it that's what you're asking for, because,
Well, it should be, subject to any,
it doesn't have to be physical, I'd have to agree with you. Is everyone,
I'm just saying in attendance.
in attendance, is
By
everyone all
via
set with
phone.
that change, without me calling for a motion on that change? Everyone all set with striking physical?
so,
I-
All right, go ahead.
5 need to be in attendance of the meeting, I mean,
well,
so,
yeah, it's the bullet above it says you can
That-
call in.
I understand, but I'm just saying, but the attendance piece of it will not be physical. If we're gonna get technical about it, it's not physical unless you're in the room.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
but I think that it's only because of the state of the emergency right now that's,
But we don't know what else is going to change, is why we're bringing this up. But at the same time, we have, in our meetings, have had people call in, Peg's done it, I've done it, Dennis did it before. So they're still in
Danielle did it
attendance.
In our first meeting.
Yeah.
That's right. So it wasn't a physical attendance in order to do that,
We
so,
were all on Zoom
yeah, we were.
that night,
Yeah.
or whatever,
I
yeah,
mean-
Zoom, yeah.
To me, I know it's semantics too, but if we strike
It-
physical, it's not gonna change anything that I know of.
If I might,
Yep.
that note, that particular bullet is put in there. I've got an issue with noting a number because
Mhm.
what happens
It
if
should
we
be a
get-
quorum.
It should be a quorum and not a number.
Yeah.
Because if we,
If we lose a member of
Lo-
5 is not
lose-
necessarily the number.
Lose 2 members, now your quorum is no longer.
Yep.
5-point number, right?
Yeah, you know,
Or if it
So-
goes back to
Yeah.
our original discussion on
Yeah.
how many members are actually
Yeah.
on the committee
it-
per the town.
So
That's-
if-
we're
Exactly.
doing
If we
some more
change, if we
documenting.
change the note, a
Yeah.
quorum is required to be in
But-
attendance of the
yeah,
meeting.
but the reason that was there is because to call in, to be able to accept a call in, you have to have a quorum present
Before
physically.
that person
So you
called
can
in.
actually have a meeting in case, and I think the reason is in case something happens and they drop out. And so that you still are able to have a meeting, because you've got a quorum present.
So I don't know how to address it in this day and age. I know this wouldn't have even been a question last year.
I would strike 5 members and say quorum.
Well, that's kind
Because-
of what I was getting at, but it's whether we strike physical as well. That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't, I think we leave physical because this is specific to if you're calling in by speakerphone in a normal meeting. This is kind of extraordinary times. They've
Mm.
changed the requirements for meetings right now, the state has.
True.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
that is
I
a
would-
note on the one up
Yeah.
above, so.
Yeah, I would say,
Okay, so I want, rather than call a motion on this, we're trying to work through this. So how does everyone feel? Do we just change it to quorum and leave physical? Mike?
I disagree. Maybe we should change the language from physical to something, let's say, in parentheses, electronically by via Zoom or phone.
Mhm.
But is Zoom, after the state of emergency, is that even legal? 'Cause
I don't think there would be anything that would ever prevent us from doing it if we had to.
We've always done it in the past,
Yeah.
not with Zoom, but even
But we've had the
conference call.
ability to have conference calls and other
Yeah.
things in the
yes,
past,
but
right?
you still have
Yeah.
to have a quorum.
Right,
to-
no, the quorum I agree with.
Yeah, but I mean,
Tom's comment is about the quorum has to be, basically, the intent was to have them in the room. So if somebody calls in and you lose the phone connection, your meeting's not canceled because you didn't have a quorum in the first place. That's what he was.
yeah, I think that's
The
because
reason that
this
was
is
here.
specific. This is specific to allowing a member to
Call in or something
via the
else.
telephone.
Right, devil's advocate, is this more of holding people responsible and accountable for coming to the actual meetings instead of kicking back
Yeah.
on their phone at
Yeah,
meeting after meeting?
All right, so it's
Yep.
quorum and keeping in the physical.
I don't think we're gonna be hurt by it. Our definition, we're covered by the governor's
Okay.
requirement, even if we don't change the word
All
physical.
right, so if you
right?
change to quorum, then add an S to need, please.
Yep.
Needs.
Okay, so, everyone in agreement, we'll change 5 members to quorum, needs to be in physical, and then again, the governor's orders will cover us for remote meetings.
Yep.
yeah.
Because that's how come we're doing this now, is through the governor's orders. That fair?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not gonna call for an additional.
Yeah, well, remembering that
Yeah.
the official vote for this is the next.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why I'm
Yeah.
waiting on, and just,
It's all discussion, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say a quorum needs to be, so we're gonna be,
That's a good
quorum
catch, Tom.
needs. Yes, it was.
Thank you. The
All right,
next,
anything else on that one? The next note, you got one?
next bullet, I would take away note. Say if a member's frequently unable
Yeah,
to
in all honesty, I don't know why note's there again.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, because that, we said that note above sort of
The bullet
pertained.
kind of makes it a note, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
We all
So
set
we're
with
above-
scratching the word note, the word note in the next one? Mr. Brown?
Okay, so we're,
It goes back to the Latin phrase nota bene, take good note of. Listen up, I mean, So, superfluous.
With that superfluous comment, are we all set with scratching it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them, the second and the third.
Yeah, I don't think we need note on either one of them if we're
No.
doing it, right?
Either that or add it to all the other.
Yeah.
No, I would take out the note, but I would indent,
Yeah,
it's getting picky.
Yep.
Indent the where we changed the 5.
On the, no, on that
Yep.
note one, that was supposed to be from the
Yeah.
one above.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, delete where you're highlighting.
I'm gonna
that
delete
note.
this one and I will indent this
Yeah,
one.
that one indent that, because that pertains to the one above, that's why it said no.
Correct.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
So it actually, and it will sub,
Get real.
yeah.
I was gonna say Danielle's got lots of experience at this kind of.
Yes, she does. So anyways, all right, so now we've indented
Okay.
that one.
There.
I like the way it says a few seconds ago, too. All right, so the last, didn't put a time down. If unable, so the last one, if unable to make the commitment, the budget committee will ask the member to resign. So we all set with that piece,
No.
or you're not?
Add a comma after commitment, please. If unable to make the commitment, comma.
I won't even ask, I agree with you.
I think we need to
How did you
combine
use that last
those last two there.
Well, I missed
And
this
the
whole
one-
thing last year.
Okay, so hold on, so we get, Tom's comment is combining the two, move that up. Because that's still the commitment
It's kind of
piece.
the same.
No,
Yeah.
The same.
I don't,
Hey, if you're not gonna come to meetings, do you really want to?
yeah, we don't need to have them as a separate bullet, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with that. Everyone all set with that, and I'll put the comma in after commitment?
As long as you put that comma in.
I know you'd be happy with that, so, all right, I'm going to, for this purpose, just so, Peg, I want you to watch this, okay?
Okay, wait a minute.
Because this purpose is due to word, because I don't want to have to go, damn, did I actually, I'm not tracking the actual deletion, or it won't let me do it. But it will track the comma. Commitment.
It should track the deletion.
Yeah, it won't now, it doesn't in all cases. It'll stay there. It'll show in some background, but if you don't see it yourself, it
Yeah.
doesn't always put it in the margin. All right, all you see is the line on the left going, why is that line there?
Okay.
All right, so we're all set with that one. How about paragraph C, which carries over to the next page? We're all set with paragraph C. All right, on to section 6, conduct of meetings. Any comments under organizational meeting? Mr. Brown?
Mr. Chairman, yes. April 30th, we already
Oh.
changed that.
Yeah, we can fix that. Shall be held following the time, yeah, I can scratch that for the same reason.
Town meeting, yep. In fact, I would take out,
Why do we need to have anything
Yeah.
going beyond town meeting?
yeah, following the town meeting, period.
Yep.
Because,
I agree, the rest of it's redundant anyways. No later than April 30th on a date voted by the committee. We're
Yeah.
changing the calendar, it's still gonna be April 30th. So, all right, you all set with scratching that last bit?
The whole thing from and.
Yeah,
to-
after town meeting, I put in a period and then scratched
Okay,
it,
yep.
okay?
Or the entire.
Yeah, if you look up, I'm gonna, after a town meeting, because that
Yeah,
just
I
tells
see
us.
that.
Yep. All right, regular meetings, everyone all set with,
Oh my goodness.
and actually, we did do that, because our regular meeting's the 4th Tuesday right now. All set with that, special meetings,
Yep.
how about closed meetings?
Do we, what would be our reason? I mean, I see 91A3 and that's the right to know. But why would we, as a budget committee, ever have to have a closed meeting? Just out of total curiosity. And maybe somebody who's been on the board for,
There may
Along
be
the time?
there may be a personal issue that comes into what's being discussed. Let's take back to, we actually had a moment last year following, we ended up having, and I'll talk about when we lost a member, that you may have a closed meeting over that type of discussion. I don't want to get into any names or anything else either, but it is possible for that. Mr. Brown?
Yeah, if I remember the other ground,
Yeah.
the RSA's say that members of the board are subject to public scrutiny.
Yeah.
And may not have a closed meeting to discuss their performance.
Right.
Your awards are public property.
Mhm.
We do have one person as an employee who is hired by the selectmen, but whose performance is still dependent on our evaluation. And that person should have a right to have
A closed door meeting, correct. That's why I said, it's between a personnel type of decision, type of thing.
Okay, so it would really be the one person on the board
It would probably be
members.
very rare, it would be very rare for the budget committee to run into it, it's more of
Okay.
a situation for the
Because I'm
selectmen,
thinking-
but, yeah.
If, one of the members continually does not show up, I mean, it's already in the bylaws.
Oh, no, that, yeah,
We sit
that's
and we
not-
talk to you and say, yo,
No, that's not what it is. This is definitely budgetary in regards to that piece, so. All right, any other?
So having, if the intent comes down to the committee having to make a decision on to remove somebody, that would be on an open meeting?
That's an
Yeah.
open
yeah,
meeting,
you're a
yes.
member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this would, as Larry put, or Mr. Brown put down in there, if somebody came in, a decision we made, somebody came in and wanted that as a private type of thing. That would be a closed door meeting, so. All right,
So
paragraph,
you have it
oops, I'm
right-
sorry.
So anywhere in that, would it have to be upon request of,
It's in accordance with 91A3,
Okay.
which goes in and explains that.
okay,
That's
Thank you.
very specific to the reason for having non-public meetings.
Is 3 absolutely specific? Because I know school board, we have 91A.
This is for the town, yeah, this is
Boing,
for the
boing,
town.
boing, boing.
Well,
A, B,
91A3
C,
is,
D.
91A3 is is about non-public meetings.
Right, no, I know.
Specifically, as
Right,
to
but we
the only
have-
reason for it, yeah.
We have the different reasons. We are going into non-public because we are going to be discussing, and
Mhm.
it's under 91A3, B, C, D.
Well, those
F.
types of reasons come in, but the.
Okay, so you're just doing a general, all right.
Yeah,
I'm
doing a
just-
general here because that's where we would
Okay.
go and refer to. That way we're not picking a particular, we don't know what the particular reason might be at
Okay.
that point in time.
All right,
point, yeah.
Yeah. So. All right, we all set with 4. Paragraph 5, public hearings. I do want to make a statement right now too, though. We'll be back to, now that the town hall's open, because I posted in the post office, because we didn't have the town hall open. The town hall is now open, so we'll be publishing it electronically, but it'll be posted here. I don't have to post it in the second, in the post office now. I had to do that for this meeting. Not that I think anyone ran to the post office for it, but, Mr. Brown?
But, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Has it crossed anyone else's mind that number 6 is absolutely not the way things happen?
Oh, I'm sorry, I hadn't even gone to that yet.
Yeah.
I was just want to make sure we were all set with the public hearing
No.
piece.
So it has to be posted in 2 places?
Right,
So
one's
you're saying
electronically and one
electronic
physically.
And the other one's here, okay.
Yeah, physically is here.
Alright.
It wasn't during when everything was
Pandemic.
shut down, but we're open back up again. So, go ahead, we can go on to number 6
No,
unless you still got
let-
something on 5.
5.
Yes.
That first sentence, I mean, I know we're talking about public hearings, but on the budgets recommended by the committee shall be scheduled by blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So I think we perhaps need to say, because the closed meetings, it just says all meetings are open, but any meeting shall be scheduled on the budgets recommended by the committee. I mean, that just does not make any sense to me if you read it word for word. So we are recommending budgets as a
Mhm.
committee
Yep.
shall be scheduled by the majority vote of the committee,
Yep.
blah, blah. But it's like, there's something missing there. And I just think it should be reworded that meetings shall be scheduled by majority vote of the committee on budgets that are being recommended by the committee and legal notice required, blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
Hearing.
this is a public hearing. This is
No, I know it's a
So,
public
no,
hearing.
I'm just saying, this is and I'm not trying to stop that. I'm just saying, this is a public hearing and not part of the regular meeting piece, but hold on a second. Mr. Brown, you got a comment?
Thank you. To recast that, it reads better as one sentence starting, public hearings, small o, on the official budgets recommended by the committee shall be scheduled by majority vote of the committee, and the legal notice required by RSA 32 and any other applicable state statute given to the public.
That makes
That's-
sense. That makes sense. And again, it was the public hearing on the budget, right, that was
Yeah.
the piece.
No, I know, it just did
No.
not make any sense. The
Starting off, I agree with
regularity-
it. No, that makes more sense
Yep.
too. Does everyone agree with that? If we take
Yes,
out the
but-
dash and make it just one,
Yes,
Yeah.
okay? All set on that?
thank you, Larry.
I'll make that a little O on the budget. Recommended by that shall be by the majority vote of the committee and the legal notice. That was the other one, Larry, right?
Yes.
Correct? Make sure we do that, the legal notice. Good. All right, any other comments on 5? All right, 6, Mr. Brown, you had a comment on 6? I know, I wasn't even reading it yet, but,
That, just, if I may, with slight tongue-in-cheek, point out that this is absolutely the way things do not happen.
yeah. Not for, yeah, bits and pieces maybe.
But if I might, it has been a convenience to have the selectmen, for example, each take one of the major parts of the budget and
Mhm.
discuss the background and the reasoning for the amounts. But the official budget is ours.
Correct.
Yeah,
It is.
apologies for speaking up. Over you.
No, go ahead.
I'm
That's fine.
I'm wondering if this wouldn't, if we shouldn't attempt this year. Because, as Larry said,
It's
it
our
is
budget.
the budget committee's budget.
Yeah.
And, perhaps we should be the ones to present it versus the selectmen as we have been in the habit of doing
Yep.
in recent times.
Selectmen control it after the fact, but it is our budget, and we're the ones that have to sign off on it, so. This is definitely out of the RSA about the presentation,
Yeah.
other than, some additional wording in here. Ms. Hurd?
Okay, third line down. Since committee is capitalized everywhere, the
committee chair.
chair.
Yep. That part I agree with. We don't have to go too far. Mr. Brown?
And then the next
Oops.
two, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know if he
Okay.
had a comment in addition to it on that, because he
And then the
raised his
next
hand.
to the last line, it should be budget committee apostrophe S.
Budget committee's recommended? Yes.
Yeah.
You right? Mr. Brown, you had a comment?
No, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, thought your hand was up.
This is maybe-
All right, so we've
I-
changed the one, we put that, it's a capital C for committee chair,
Yep,
and the only other change was the apostrophe S.
yep.
Any other, due note to your comment, Mr. Brown, I know, and Mr. McDougall's comments, we should be working on presenting.
Like I said, it's.
Yep.
That may change the.
Yep.
Perception,
It could be.
maybe.
All right, so we all set with 6,
Yeah.
or do you have something else?
I'm-
Uh,
Okay, you're still deciding, Mr. Brown?
You could put in a weasel phrase down at the bottom, where it's the last line, okay. Let's see. Well, somewhere, the phrase would be, as the committee determines useful for the deliberative session. And that would leave it open but it's unnecessary.
Something at the discretion of the budget committee?
Yeah.
To do what?
No, he's saying as far as presenting the budget is how I believe he's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if it works out that things are very useful for what the school board and the selectmen are presenting, then it works. If there is such disarray and things are falling apart because of all the incredible problems that are coming in for state funding, federal funding, school district funding.
Well, I guess I can address it this way, unless otherwise noted. At the start of that one where it says the committee presents, unless otherwise noted.
Yeah. And that way you don't have
So I don't have to change anything, so if we do decide that they're doing something,
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, so-
that's a good point, bye.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the last, I don't know if it's a whole sentence, the last maybe 4 or 5 lines. Any adjustments made previously carrying a recommendation, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, that's all a piece of what's done during the
Right.
thing, but yeah.
Right. But I don't know who said it, but I honestly feel as though the town and the school know more the real background of why they are presenting something. And I think overall, they probably do a much better job of explaining than the budget committee chair.
I suppose it would, well, like I said, right now, by having this, unless otherwise noted,
I like that.
that covers it, and I think if it's done by the Board of Selectmen, or the school
Yeah.
presents something, then,
Okay.
Well,
and by the way, it'll be noted in the deliberative session who's doing the actual presentation at that time, but.
yeah, if I'm like getting back to not being how we have done things, I don't think that we have ever convened a special meeting to vote on dollars that have changed at town meeting.
Well, you did.
We
you did
actually
last
met,
year.
yeah, we met after the
No,
fact
we were
on
still-
our
we were-
vote.
No, we were still in session.
This is true, but
It
I'm
was not-
saying, that's true.
That's what I'm saying, is
Yeah.
that this says, we'll reconvene for a special meeting. That was not special, that was a, so I'm wondering
Continuation.
if we shouldn't say, well,
If we nitpick that much though, whether we leave the word special in there or we just continue, I think we're covered.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could wordsmith this beyond
Like I
that.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah, this tells us that we have to vote on it if the number.
and I think that would cover it. Everyone agree with that? I mean,
Yeah.
Okay,
again.
all right, I'm just,
Oh, no, that's fine. I'd rather discuss it, make sure we understand it, but. All right, paragraph 7, subcommittee meetings. All set with that. Called by the chair of the subcommittee. We haven't had one, but we could. Schedule the meetings.
Is that published annually? I mean, we just kind of.
The only thing we did was say that our regular meetings are gonna be the fourth
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I think that,
And it goes in our minutes when we do it, so.
okay.
So that is published in that regard. When we get ready for the other meetings, we have to adjust on the fly. So, all right. B, report of subcommittees. I don't think there's much on that one to. Review of audit reports. Any comments?
Is that done? I don't remember
If-
any of us
If
reviewing.
we haven't had any, but it's still there in the event that there is an audit report for us to review.
I
So
think they get all did every year.
no, I'm saying, but we haven't necessarily.
Yeah, we
done.
haven't seen them.
We
but-
haven't had to.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Why? All right. I guess I'm asking why.
I don't know. That's why my question too. But we haven't seen them, and I guess we should. So we know. I know we've seen the audit reports from the school.
Yeah. 'cause
So
was
I
gonna
don't know
say,
why
just
we-
went through ours.
You know what? In here, I will ask that question.
Okay.
I think we should be seeing the audit report
Yeah.
to know where we stand. You know. All right, and then we don't have to change our bylaws. We just follow them. All right. Quorum. Any question
Whoa.
on quorum?
We go with the physically.
There's the fit. Well, that's why yeah, and that's and in bold. I don't think we need to have the bold part. Does anybody think we need to yell at people about this?
I don't see, I think we can take the vote out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and just go. Okay, we'll just make it like a nice, regular. Come on, don't give me a hard time. All right, we'll do each one individually. Go bold. All right, order of business. That's our standard order of business. Obviously, we can make adjustments. You don't need to make any changes. Does everyone agree? Roll of,
citizens comments. Don't we do public comment first in the beginning of the meeting?
we've had it at various times.
We've
It
had
just,
the various.
Okay, so it
usually
just
it's
doesn't-
towards the end,
yeah.
Okay.
but we also aren't so well. apologies for speaking out of
No,
turn.
that's fine.
We haven't been so strict as to say, your
You
public
can't.
comment section is here, that's the only time you can speak.
Considering we have a member of our, that was a member of almost every meeting we had towards the end, we let her talk.
You know,
Well, we let her talk whatever she wanted to.
We're so excited, we get so excited when we have a member of the public come in, we want them to be part of what we're going over, you know, I mean,
It's not like we're gonna say, oh, you can't talk.
yeah.
But in the event that you need that there, it's under 7.
It's under there,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
And it really just reminds you to do that. Mr. Brown?
it should also include that the chair has the power to change the order of the
Yes.
agenda.
And it is in there,
It's just
says
recommended.
recommended.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, all set with the order of business. Role of the chair. Does anyone have any comments on the role of the chair?
Yeah, good luck.
Besides that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Not hearing any, I
Protects
will,
the committee from annoyance. So maybe we need to strike the citizens' comments in the above.
actually, sometimes that helps.
Not coming from the
Yeah.
citizens.
Given the present group, we are doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
All
Wait a
right.
minute.
W-
Does that mean from members?
Could be.
Generally,
It's a general
general
comment.
annoyances.
It's a general comment. It could be the fact that our camera's not working, but. All right, moving on to the role of the recording secretary. Any comments on that one?
Yeah,
Okay. Go ahead.
you
Daniel.
have the Board of Selectmen choose your recording secretary?
I didn't even,
Very
no.
It says
No, we
that
do not.
in first line.
Kind of.
We don't need to have anything after the recording clerk, I don't believe. Does, as to who's choosing them. We can, as far as I'm concerned, if we
Well,
put a
very
period
odd.
after a recording clerk, it's not chosen, but did it have to be approved?
Yes. The-
That's all I was gonna say,
Because,
approved by
yeah,
the
they're-
Board of
they're-
Selectmen.
The recording clerk is actually an employee of the town, sort of contract
Yeah.
kind of dealio, I think. And,
There's no binding contract.
but it's,
Well,
not,
it's the role
not
of
a,
the selectmen
but
to
it's,
hire or fire.
it's like a
No, so that's what I'm
contract.
saying, so it's not chosen, but
Yeah.
approved by the Board of
Yeah,
Selectmen.
but, yeah, they have to say, yes, this
Yeah.
person is suitable for hire.
And does the person have to be sworn in? I don't know about ours. I just know the school board.
As
No?
far as,
No.
I don't
Never
think
had
so.
to.
I don't believe so, no, because it's
Yeah.
not a part of the committee aspect, but, so if I change the word, chosen to approved,
Yeah.
that
Final.
work for everybody? Okay, Danielle, do you have another one, or was that,
Hired.
Aye. Any additional comment, any other comments under role of recording secretary? That was a good catch, by the way, because I didn't even realize it was in there as chosen.
There is nothing in here that states the 5 days.
Yeah, that
The
was
draft
my-
minutes need to be.
No,
That
that's
was
a
my
good
note.
point, because that was the part that was
Yeah,
missing.
and that has been my,
And under the
The
yeah,
policy and the process to be
Yep.
followed.
no, I agree. Shall record, boom, 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 time, the meeting, let's see, minutes. Shall record the
Yes.
essential, and it should be the minutes, we can just add the, right after K.
Yeah.
Draft minutes must be. So that will be L,
We have 5 business days after the meeting.
yeah. It's within 5 business days, within 5 business days.
is it just 5 business or is it 5 days?
5 business.
72
business
hours.
Hmm?
72 hours.
Yeah, but it's business hours, I believe, isn't it?
Saturdays are included.
Oh,
Thank
it
you,
is,
that's
so it's
what I
5.
thought, yeah,
Okay, then
so-
it's within 5 days. I thought it
Yeah.
was business.
No, because I know our school board ones are out.
Okay,
You got an E on
must be posted within 5 days. Yeah, I see that, yeah.
Should we do anything about corrections?
Maybe not necessarily corrections, but where they are posted. Or how they are posted. Is
You're gonna say
the
posted
secretary
on, so it
posting
must
them
be posted
herself-
on, yeah,
him
well,
or
it's,
herself, or
no.
is it the chairman?
must be posted online within 5 business days is normally what we do, but, well, in 2 places is what it comes down to, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be-
They're supposed to be-
Draft minutes are only legally need to be posted in one location.
That's why I thought we normally
Approved
did.
minutes
Yeah.
have to be posted in 2 locations, which is the same 2 locations that your agenda is posted.
So do we want to just say, that's a good point, so on this one here, just say must be posted online within 5 days? We'll cover that.
Approved minutes.
No,
are-
the draft one.
Draft minutes.
Draft minutes do not, there is no statute saying that they have to be posted online.
Okay, so we'll just leave it as
Just
posted?
visible and available for
Okay,
the
the
public.
posted's fine.
Right,
So
but
then
my question, specific question was, I mean, I know that I have corrected minutes
Yep.
and I never have seen them. I mean, they just never, because I couldn't do the Google thingy.
Mm-hmm,
Sherry and I always did, Word.
yep.
And
Well,
I'd
and that's
send it
why I
back.
want to go back to it, because we can track the changes.
Yeah, but then I
Right.
never saw the finished and we'd come and we'd say, okay, you know, we have an approved minutes from XYZ date. And I never saw that my minutes or my corrections were incorporated.
Well, let me Pat, run this by you, because what I did was I asked Sherry for them to be sent to me. So do we want them to say they submitted to the chair for posting within 5 days?
Or
Does
she's
that
getting
make-
paid,
Or
why
if you
can't
wanna
she?
delegate someone for that.
Yeah, okay, if we
task,
just leave it
I
as
mean,
posted, it'll be.
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, she's getting paid to do that, I
Yeah.
would assume that she should be doing that.
Okay,
But I just wanna know what the procedure is for accumulating the
For- yeah,
corrections
for-
and getting
for-
a corrected copy
Well,
Yep.
that we approve.
I think, well, we need to decide among ourselves what the corrections are. I think, you know,
She
if we've
makes
got
the-
9 members and we have 9 different people sending corrections to Sherry, I think that gets unmanageable or to the recording clerk, whoever that is. I think that gets unmanageable. So I think we need to figure out among ourselves how we're going to correct the minutes and then send them to the recording clerk to make the adjustments in the final, in the for real copy.
So wait a
Yeah.
minute, all 9 people send corrections?
Well, that's what we've got to figure out is how we do
Okay.
that. Whether that's what we want to do. But I think that can be absent the,
But that would be, depending on the correction, she might not have the authority to make those changes.
Right.
It should be discussed between the board and then sent
yeah,
from the
yeah,
chair
and that,
to.
yes, and that's what I'm saying is that we need to figure out among ourselves
Right.
how we correct them.
Correct.
And then send the final, figure out how to get those corrections to the recording secretary.
That'd be
recording
the
clerk.
chairman's job.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, well, I just remember correcting one of the first ones with you, Tom. You had 2
Oh.
L's.
Yeah, it was us.
And Justin Bellin, 2 L's.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is we got to figure out how to, and maybe,
And, sorry, go ahead.
well,
No,
maybe
it's
we
okay.
pass around a Word document. I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
the best way to do this efficiently is, other than make the minutes a whole lot shorter than what they sometimes are.
well, I have to be
But
very
they were too
honest,
much.
and many
They
times
can
when
only
I
be
get
verbatim
them.
anyway, right? Am I correct
Yeah.
about that?
What?
They can only be from verbatim anyway.
No,
No,
No.
they do
No.
not have to be word for word on everything you're doing. The motions, yes.
Yes,
When you're doing that, but
Voting,
as far
yes.
as,
Discussion.
the minutes itself, you can sit there and
You don't
say
have
they
to-
discussed this,
yeah.
and you
You
don't
don't
have to
even-
get into any real details until the motion comes
You
Yeah.
out.
don't even legally
did I
have
say
to
that wrong? I said
include
not for-
discussion.
No,
They don't-
this is
No.
true.
no.
Yeah,
That
we
was
don't
not
have
for
to.
me, Beta.
Okay, hold on a second, Mr. Brown.
On the minutes, there is still a problem in that the minutes, as approved and voted upon by the committee, become the official minutes.
Right.
There is still the problem of a meeting taking place if everyone is having a back and forth conversation about correcting the minutes. The electron is still not the legal standard for public
Oh, no,
notice.
this is true.
Yes.
When we get down to number 6, there is a lovely summary of what minutes should do and how they should be put together.
Mm-hmm.
That all the wonderful golden thoughts I have can be summarized by just saying spoke for or against.
Okay.
The other thing to consider on approving or not approving minutes is simple grammatical errors versus contextual errors.
And it's supposed to be on context. We try to fix the grammatical, obviously,
those
but
are-
the thing
those
is,
are
but if they're
minor,
missed, but no, but I'm saying, if they're missed, it's not gonna
Don't-
change the context, then you don't
hold
worry.
up minutes being passed by having a lowercase m on my last name instead
No.
of.
Or calling you Nicole.
I don't care.
Okay, so I wanna, hey, I need to bring us back, cause like I said, we got about 10 more minutes and we got more than this to do. Just a couple quick things that I wanna touch bases on so we don't forget. If I just wanna hold you up, cause like I said, we're on recorded time here tonight. And we may end up just calling for another meeting here because of this. We lost the first 15 minutes or so of the meeting. We got to finish the minutes, but I want to make sure that in the next 10 minutes, so we can get a few before this thing crashes. I've got a couple Excel things to show you and Danielle, but I think I'm going to separate that from here. Okay, I can run something separate because right tonight I didn't figure we're going to get too heavily into doing budgets. And Peg, I know we want to talk about the school, but my quick comment on the school is June's the last month of the year. You guys are going to, Nate's going to be coming out with the final stuff coming up here real soon.
The end of the, well, probably the middle
Within
of July.
the middle of July, so
Yeah.
rather than say that we're going to go in, because I did see your comments and everyone had a chance to look.
Yep.
I'd rather wait for our next meeting to really get into it, because we're going to see some final stuff and then we'll start seeing some of the newer stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just,
Well, no, go ahead. What you got?
no,
something?
I'm just wondering because by the time we may not see, or the budget committee may not see the final until possibly August. Only because of the way everything goes.
I know he's
so-
got some additional things, but he's going to be coming out with the new data.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
every
pretty
month he
soon.
comes out with something.
So I'm just going to say, I think if we do that, that'll
Okay.
be the end of the school year. Does that make sense?
But it will not be the I'm just
And
saying.
no,
right in
no,
front
I
of you,
understand
not
there's
the
more
final,
stuff that's going to be final.
Final,
But
not
it's
final.
it's amongst the committee rather than try to say that we're going to go in. We can make comments on the budget tonight, and it's like it ends in 8 days. Basically 7 days from today. So
Yeah.
what's to get into the school stuff? We need to get into it, but it's really going to make more sense after the end of this month. Does-
It would be nice to have some solid numbers to work with, yeah.
Yes, and that's kind of where I'm going, because right now it's going to be shifting. The town one, I need to ask for some additional stuff anyways, and I need to show them how to format it, because that's where it's going to come into play, okay? What I did want to cover, though, is, and again, I was going to do a quick training session. We won't be able to do this. I'll do that with the two of you on a separate conference call. Does that make sense? Is that fair with everyone? It's really just training. It's not...
On what, the town or?
No, showing them how to format on the town stuff.
Oh.
I'm gonna need to talk with you separately and with Nate, because the way he's doing it now out of the new program, it's harder to format. And I know he's struggling with it
I
too.
hate it.
Yeah, I do too. Okay.
Just saying.
Well, like I said, I don't wanna mess up anything else we're doing tonight here. And
All right, so we're going to continue with.
we're gonna
the
continue
minutes?
with this, and like I said, what we got at 7:30, we'll wrap up where we're at, and then we'll go from there. Does that make sense? Okay, for tonight?
All right.
All right, so we had stopped at the draft minutes posted. Is there anything else we want to adjust on that right now, or, because I know Larry had to comment about, what we all talked about, various things about the official minutes in the end. Do we?
Yeah.
Or are we all set for this piece of it? Because I agree with you, Tom.
Where do
We
we
also,
put the-
it's our role to take care of
Yeah,
the
we
official
gotta figure
minutes
that
when
out.
we're done.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out. That's not necessarily her job.
Okay,
So what did we come up with?
we stopped at the draft minutes here, so that's
Okay,
why
but what did we come up with regarding the corrected minutes?
I haven't. That's why I'm asking
Okay.
the question. That's why I'm asking the questions.
Yeah.
So,
Because as Larry pointed out, we can't have you send me something and I send it to Humphrey because that's a meeting.
Right.
That's
You
what?
know, Because that would be a meeting. Now, what we could do is I make corrections, send them to the chairman. You make corrections, send them to the chairman.
Yep.
But now we're back into the same, he's getting input from 8 different people and has to figure out how to organize all that. And that's just, we
All right,
gotta
here's-
come up with a different way to organize.
here's what I'm going to ask, because she's done a lot of this. How did it work best for you as a recording clerk? You've done a lot of recording, so I'd rather hear it from you.
I've done a lot.
I know. So I'd rather hear it from you. What's the
Um,
best way for a recording clerk to be able to handle this, rather than me make a decision?
Draft minutes are posted. They're
Right.
not, they weren't ever given to each member.
Right.
You have them within 72 hours after your meeting, can review them prior to. You have a hard copy of minutes, the draft minutes,
Mhm.
to review in hand 3 days before your upcoming meeting. Any corrections are reviewed for then. Typically, there were not.
Yeah.
I know.
If it was a simple spelling, it was just a, hey, before you print out, or hey, if you could go change this
The grammatical
before I
stuff.
sign.
Yep.
But you guys don't even sign
We don't sign our
minutes,
minutes,
so
no.
grammatical can be changed afterwards as long as, I mean, the chairman would be
Once-
reviewing for the
once the minutes
final.
are
Yep,
posted.
that's exactly what we said. Which your meeting to approve the minutes would then be reflecting any changes for the minutes before. So
Mhm. Yeah, we vote on our
it's very
minutes, but we
simple. I
don't
think
sign them.
that things are very complicated here for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, if I can just interject,
Go ahead.
Danielle, I did read a couple of Board of Selectmen minutes when you were doing them. Very good.
Thank you.
I know the school board minutes, I get them for corrections, minor. It might take me 10 minutes to go through public and non-public.
We've had,
I
I want to
just-
help with you on this one, Peg. I think when we've had our normal meetings and our recording secretary has taken care of our minutes, we have had very few major things. We've had mostly minor things. You're going to shake it, I don't know, but we've had some minutes that have been very, very difficult to get through, to the point where I spent weeks trying to figure it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually got to a point where I would look at the minutes. You know, number one, I would kind of if I saw only one L on Macdougall someplace, then I just kind of did a search and made those changes.
Mm-hmm.
But I really got to a point where I read my presentation and made corrections, because there were times that it was not quite what I said. And
No, we've had those, I agree. And then, Mr. Brown, you've got a comment?
Yeah. Factual errors by committee vote. There's a great word, scrivener. You can hear the word scribe and scribble.
Mm-hmm.
Scrivener errors at the call of the chair or recording secretary. So the spelling, grammar, comma, errors of fact, errors of nuance, and the delicate word choice.
I agree. And that kind of comes back to what's the context of what you're trying to get across. We need to make sure, and we'll come back to this, any of our motions, those types of things have to be verbatim, because that's what we're voting on at that point in time. They need to be called out as to who's done it, who's second, and we had that in the last set of minutes as to who made the motion and who seconded it was off. I know we're wrapping this up the best we can. So I think we're gonna, this is a good point to stop, because I think we need to kind of table this piece here, and we'll go back and try to figure this last little bit out. I could really use your help, because you've done it with the recording secretary piece, and let's bring that back to the table for our next meeting. Does that make sense?
okay, all right, just my
No.
last
No,
comment.
that's fine, go ahead.
My last comment, and it's probably, I'm sure it's the teacher in me,
Okay.
that I feel very strongly that if there is any committee in town that is putting out minutes, that they should not be viewed by the people in town going, oh my God. That's
Yeah.
just my
No,
feeling,
by
and
the
that's
way,
why
if people
I am
feel that way
so-
about our minutes, I agree with you.
Yeah, you
But-
have to change that.
I would be judgmental.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a spelling Nazi,
Yep.
so like, that would be.
Nope, we'll make sure that they're the best they can
I
be,
can't
but we
spell,
also gotta make,
Just letting you all know now, I'm the worst speller, but
that's why we
I
have,
got pegged
that's why spell
thumbs,
check
so
works. Okay, I need to bring this back together. This is the point in time, we all set, we're gonna if we're in agreement, I want to stop at this point in time. We will bring this back to our next meeting.
Yep.
Okay? Next scheduled meeting will be the last Tuesday of July. Okay? I am going to be asking, just so everyone knows, I'm going to be asking for the additional stuff coming from the town so that we will have the latest budget information. We did not get all the expenditure information the last time, and I know we're going to be getting the additional information from the school here shortly. I do want to touch on one note. This is something I wanted to kind of wrap up, and then I'll go around the room. I want everyone to think of it. Our role is not how we spend money. We all know that. But it is our budget. And it's been a struggle here in Milton, as everyone knows. So I just need everyone to kind of take this into a thought process here. We've struggled in the town because the only votes that have passed, both in the school and the town, and this is just to take for granted, since 2014, the only time the operating budgets have passed is when they've been below the default budget. And other than that, the default budget's been lower, and that's what the town's voted. So we need to be looking at this with an open mind, and I also want to pass on that I do know that the town is attempting to get the department heads to have their budgets ready by the end of August, so that we meet in September. Well, yeah, that's why I met with the town administrator because I says, we need to understand the default budget before we understand the regular budget. Because that's going to be a big key for us to understand where we're coming from. Because if there's a huge variation, it's going to make it very difficult for the budget committee to do our job. So the intent from the town administrator is they are going to try to make sure that they get that done. They're going to try to get the default budget and everything else factored in best they can, so that when we meet the second week of September is going to be a meeting with the Board of Selectmen, with the department heads doing the presentation, not the town administrator doing. That's what the goal is. And it's going to be questions and answers, not just sit there and listen to a presentation.
So
okay?
a full budget review.
Yeah, it's going to be a full budget review. Because I said, look, last year we tried, but we scrambled way too much, and we should not be scrambling. I want to address something that you and I talked about. I says, what I am shooting for and what I had talked with him about was, the sooner we can get that back, I want to be able to have it so that we can present something publicly before the holidays. So that the town has an opportunity to see where we're headed. That's not the final thing, obviously, because you've got insurance and other things going to be added. But the more information that we can have to the public in an early fashion, the better the chances are that we're going to be successful at getting a budget through.
Holidays being like Halloween.
No, holidays being by the end of actually after the end of October. No, I know that, but at the end of October. So Halloween would be close. It's probably at the day after. We'll call it All Saints Day. So the idea is to try to have things done by the end of October as much as we can. All right.
It's always nice to hear
Huh?
new blood talk.
all over the place.
It's always nice to hear new blood talk, huh?
Yeah. Anyways,
Old blood, new table.
rather than try to go through approved minutes, we'll do the same thing. The 26th minute. I mean, we got to try to find the meetings from the 25th. This says the 22nd, but it was the 25th of February. So we need to try to find. That was the last set of minutes. I will get the minutes online. Get the word draft taken off because they were approved. So I want to go around the room. So Mr. Brown, I will start with you. You had your hand so partially up.
But,
I didn't know if you were relaxing the shoulder or you had a comment.
no, carpal tunnel from hell. We will not be meeting. 4th of July will come. The holiday remains. Everyone travel well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. In other words, we're not meeting before the 4th. He just,
Oh,
Have a good Fourth, he says.
hey, even if travels from your living room to your kitchen and back again, be safe.
excuse me, you know,
Yeah. All right, so
the pub run?
Peg, do you have any comments?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. Danielle?
Not really. I'm still, fingers crossed, Mike said is booked up, but I'm really hopeful that they open up some sort of training.
I haven't heard anything yet, but I know I'm trying
I've been looking, but
Yeah,
I'm hopeful that they do something.
yeah, I am too. Yeah, no, that's something
is
that I'm
the
gonna.
best
I'm glad you bring it up because I wanna touch on that too.
It's one of the best.
You need the
jobs.
book?
Peg.
Yeah, no, she got the books.
What books
Tom,
do you
you got
need
anything?
from me?
Our next meeting, for those that might be listening still, is the 28th of July.
Okay,
That's the fourth Tuesday.
the fourth Tuesday, correct. Thank you. Lisa? Any?
No.
Emma?
Just inquiry about the vote.
Yeah, about the budget law, yeah, because I agree, we're
It's a
trying, I'm
world
trying to
of
find
knowledge
out.
here.
I went through and looked a little while ago, there was nothing out there yet, but, and hopefully they will be opening some things up here this summer, is what the plan is. Mr. Brown?
Does the
Oh.
budget committee have a budget for training?
We have a budget that we haven't fully utilized, and we have used that, we do have money for
It's
training, so
one
yes, we
Yeah,
do have
Yeah, we have
some.
money
Fine.
for training.
Yep.
Oh, one last thing, if you go through that budget law book with a neutral eye, you will find that most of it is given over to how the selectmen do the 10% rule, how a warrant article is phrased to go to a town meeting, and that is not exactly our purview. And what I hear you saying that you want to discuss with Danielle and Lisa and possibly Mike for the nuts and bolts of how the budget committee does things to be more practical and useful.
No, that's not what I was gonna show
Oh,
them.
well-
No, I'm not having, this isn't an official budget meeting. This is taking the town's data that we get in an Excel comma separated thing, and for them to do what I was doing and formatting it. I've actually set up a template. I'll tell you what, this will be I wanna give one quick demonstration to all of you to understand what I'm gonna be doing for them, and then that'll make it clearer, okay?
Are we still on?
Yeah,
We still have the conference?
Yeah, I think we're still on, and I know we're wrapping up. It has not shut down.
Okay.
Oh, and it just shut down, so that's okay. This isn't gonna hurt anyone to show this quick thing.
No, we're not allowed to.
This is not budget.
But
I hear you.
we-
Okay.
if public can't attend, which is
Nope.
our means is the conference call, we cannot
No, that's,
continue the meeting. We have to
No,
adjourn.
that's a good point.
We can bring it up after the
Yeah.
meeting, because it's not budget, this is Excel.
Yeah.
But we have to adjourn because the public can't.
no, we are, and we're gonna call the meeting and, we'll adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a
Motion,
motion to adjourn.
okay? Anybody,
Second.
second from Mr. Brown. So motion to adjourn from Peg Hurd, seconded from Mr. Brown, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, if you guys wanna stick around for
Yeah,
one moment, I will show you this.
I just.
No,
you
that's a
know,
good point. No,
people-
very
people
valid
get-
point.
People get picky.
Nope.
And this is gonna be.
But I want everyone to understand, this is all I was gonna do, and I'm gonna show with them, because I was trying to automate this to make it as easy as possible for everyone to be able to do this. So, when we get